Good afternoon, friends. Today again we are meeting for the mathematics lecture. From the ancient time, we know that the problem of counting is one of the most important thing in mathematics as well as in our routine life. જેમ આદિમાનવ પહેલેથી જ જ્યારથી એણે પૃથ્વી પર શરૂઆત થઈ જીવનની ત્યારથી જે કાઉન્ટિંગ દરેક વસ્તુ ગણતવાનું કે ભાઈ આ શું છે, આ કેટલું છે, અહીંયા કેટલા માણસો છે કે કેટલા ગાય ભેંસ છે વગેરે, એ બધું એણે પહેલાંથી શરૂઆત કરી હતી. તો આ કાઉન્ટિંગ જે પ્રશ્ન જે છે એ આપણા પૂર્વજોથી ચાલતો આવે છે. એવું કહેવાય છે કે જ્યારે પહેલાંના જમાનામાં આદિમાનવ કે જે પણ જે જૂના જમાનામાં જે અહીંયા પૃથ્વીમાં માણસો રહેતા હતા એ લોકો જ્યારે એમના શું કહેવાય ઘેટા બકરાને ચરાવવા લઈ જાય તો જંગલમાં ચરાવવા લઈ જાય ને પાછા આવે ત્યારે એમની પાસે જે બધા જેટલા પણ ઘેટા કે બકરા હોય એ પાછા આવી ગયા કે નહીં એ કેવી રીતે ખબર પડે એ લોકોને, કારણ કે એ લોકોને એ વખતે ગણતરી કરતાં આવડતી નથી અને એ વખતે નંબર્સ શોધાયા પણ ન હતા કે ભાઈ મારી પાસે 100 ઘેટા છે તો 100 પાછા આવી ગયા કે નહીં. તો એ લોકો શું કરતા હતા કે પોતાના ઘરની આગળ એના ચોકમાં એ લોકો ખાડો ખોદી રાખતા હતા અને એટલા ખાડા જેટલા જ પથરા એ એક દોરીથી બાંધીને દરેક ઘેટા કે બકરા જે પણ હોય, જે પણ પશુ હોય એના પૂંછડીએ એ દોરી બાંધી દેતા હતા. અને જ્યારે પણ એ ચરાવવા લઈ જાય ત્યારે એની સાથે એ પથરા એટલા જાય અને પાછા આવે ત્યારે એ પથરા કાઢી અને પેલા ખાડામાં મૂકી દે. અને જો દરેકે દરેક ખાડો ભરાઈ જાય તો એ સમજતો હતો કે ભાઈ બધા ઘેટા બકરા પાછા આવી ગયા છે. અને આ રીતે એ સેટિસ્ફાઈ થતો હતો કે ભાઈ મારી પાસે જેટલા પણ મારા જે આખું જે કેટલ જે છે એ કમ્પ્લીટલી મારી પાસે પાછું આવી ગયું છે. So actually what he was doing is he was establishing a 1-1 correspondence between the two sets, the set of stones which are tied up at the tail of each goat or whatever, and the set of holes in front of his house. And this kind of 1-1 correspondence inspires him to think about number of animals returned are the required or not. So આવું બધું થતું હતું. તો એ વસ્તુ આપણે આગળ જનરલાઇઝ કરી અને પછી નક્કી કર્યું કે આ ખરેખર એક એટલે શું, બે એટલે શું. આ બધું જે આપણે અત્યારે એમ સામાન્ય રીતે સમજી લઈએ કે આ લખ્યું એક, પણ એક શું છે? ધારો કે આ બે, તો બે શું છે? આપણે નાના હોઈએ ત્યારે કેજીમાં ટીચર બે લખાવે પેલા સ્લેટમાં અને પછી આપણે બેને ઘૂંટીએ, બે 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 એમ 50 વાર લખીએ અને કે હવે બે થઈ ગયો. આ જે ચિત્ર છે એ બે છે એમ કે, એટલે આપણે સેટિસ્ફાઈ થઈ જાય કે હા ખરેખર એ બે છે. પણ આવું ખરેખર ટુ શું છે? એમ ધારો કે આ રૂમમાં અહીંયા 4 ટ્યુબલાઇટ છે કે 5 ટ્યુબલાઇટ છે, આ મારા ઘરમાં 3 ખુરશીઓ પડી છે, બરાબર છે. તો આ બધું 3 છે કે 4 છે એ કેવી રીતે નક્કી કરે છે? તો વોટ ઇઝ 3, વોટ ઇઝ 4, આ બધું એક આખું મેથેમેટિક્સ, એની પાછળ બહુ રસપ્રદ મેથેમેટિક્સ છે અને એને આખું હિસ્ટ્રી ઓફ નંબર્સમાં એ બહુ સુંદર રીતે આવરી લેવામાં આવ્યું છે. પણ આજે આપણે ખરેખર ગણતરી કેવી રીતે કરવી અથવા તો કઈ વસ્તુ ગણતરી કરી શકાય એવી છે એમ, અથવા તો તમે આમ બીજી રીતે પણ કહી શકો કે if you have a set, then how will you decide whether the number of elements in the set or the elements in the sets are countable or not? તમે આ સેટના એલિમેન્ટ્સ કાઉન્ટ કરી શકો છો કે નથી કરી શકતા? that we want to understand mathematically, and for this we start our lecture with the basic definition of the 1-1 correspondence. All you are familiar with the sets and functions. So you can see on your screen the first definition of 1-1 correspondence. Please see on the screen. તમે તમારા સ્ક્રીન પર જોઈ શકો છો 1-1 correspondence definition. If f from a to b is 1-1 and onto function, then we say that a is 1-to-1 correspondence with b. A is in 1-to-1 correspondence with b and it is denoted by a equivalent to b. તો આ સિમ્બોલથી આપણે દર્શાવીશું કે બે સેટ આપેલા હોય અને જો આ બે સેટ વચ્ચે if there exists, if you can find at least one function f from a to b which is 1-1 as well as onto. All of you are familiar with the concept of 1-1 function and onto function. Let us take some simple and very easy example. Suppose I have 3 numbers 1, 2 and 3 in one set. Another set has 3 symbols, say x, y and z. then can we define a correspondence or a function which is a 1-1 correspondence? You know how to establish a correspondence between two sets. I can associate 1 to one of these element. So, let us say x, I can associate 2 to y and 3 to z, and the same is true. So, we have one correspondence between the two sets A and B, which is clearly 1-1 and onto, because distinct elements here are related to distinct images, and all values or all the elements of the set B are covered. So, this function f, which is given in this Venn diagram, is 1-1 and onto. Therefore, I can say that the set A is in 1-to-1 correspondence with the set B, and symbolically I can write this as A equivalent to B. There are different terms for these equivalent sets. One can also say that A is equivalent to B, or A is equipotent to B, or A is equivalent to B, or A and B are in 1-to-1 correspondence. All this has the same meaning. Okay. But instead of this A and B, if I take these two sets, say A is equal to 1 and 2 and B is equal to x, y and z, or say W, 4 elements, then we cannot have any 1-1 correspondence, which is we cannot have any function f which is both 1-1 as well as onto. See 1, 2 and here x, y, z, W. You can define a 1-1 function like this, but this function will not be onto. If you make it onto, then you have to cover all these elements. So, I can associate or still it is not possible, because we have only one thing, either 1-1 correspondence or many 1 correspondence. Many correspondence does not define a function. So, I cannot relate 1 to z or w. Okay. So, this is the only possibility. You can relate 1 to x or 1 to y or 1 to z or 1 to w. There are 4 choices for 1 and then 3 choices for the second element. So, there is no 1-1 function, 1-1 and onto function possible from this set A to the set B. So, I say that this A is not equivalent to B. This is the symbol for this. So, between any two sets we can define one relation like this, which is denoted by this symbol. A is equivalent to B if and only if there exists a function f from A to B which is 1-1 and onto. This is my relation. You know what is the relation? You must have studied in paper 6 also, abstract algebra and many other papers in which the basic concept of relation is there. What is the relation? It is any subset of x cross x. Okay. Here I am taking the main set or universal set as a set of all sets, and I am taking any two sets A and B from that collection and defining a relation A related to B by this symbol. So, you can easily prove that this relation, this equivalence, set equivalence is an equivalence relation. What is the equivalence relation? You know, a relation is said to be equivalence relation if it is reflexive, it is symmetric and transitive. Reflexive, symmetric and transitive. Okay. So, this relation satisfies all these 3 properties. Therefore, this relation is an equivalence relation. So, we have this one result which we assume without proof, and you can see on your screen also on in the slide. Okay, the set equivalence, it is the result. The set equivalence means 1-1 correspondence between two sets is an equivalence relation. This is a exercise for you. You can verify all the 3 properties about the equivalence relation: reflexivity, symmetricity and transitivity. Okay. Now, using this concept we can define the different types of sets. As I told you, our main aim of this today's lecture is to understand the concept of countable sets. So, first I define finite set. Finite set all you are familiar, because you have studied finite set from the school. So finite set means we can count the number of elements. Okay, there are 5 elements, 6 elements, etc. But I will define finite set mathematically in terms of this notation. So, our first definition, it is also there, you can see on the screen the definition of finite sets. Definition of finite sets. I am taking different types of sets. The first one is finite set. Let us see on the screen definition of finite set. A set A is said to be a finite set if either A is empty set, A is phi, or A is equivalent to the set containing n numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 up to n for some n belongs to n. Okay, let us understand this. Suppose I am given this set A is equal to x, y, z, then I can find n is equal to 3, so that the set B containing 1, 2, 3, this is symbols is in 1, 1 correspondence or in 1 to 1 correspondence with A. It is very obvious that x, y, z is in 1 to 1 correspondence with B. Therefore, these two sets are equivalent, and hence we say that A is finite. So, whenever any given set A is equivalent to the set containing n symbols, then it is said to be a finite set. Not only that, this n is actually the number of elements in A, and we write it in this symbol, n of A is equal to n, number of elements in A is equal to n. So, our definition is the set should be either empty set or it is equivalent to 1, 2, 3 up to n. The second definition you can see on the screen of infinite set. What is an infinite set? See on the screen. A set A which is not finite is called infinite, means it is neither empty, it is not equivalent to 1, 2, 3 up to n for any n belongs to n, then it is said to be infinite set. Next slide. Now, the third type of set, which is the main topic of our today's lecture, countable set. A set A is said to be countable if it is equivalent to capital N. Such a set is also called countably infinite set or enumerable set or denumerable set. Okay. Now, the important thing is the given set should be in 1 to 1 correspondence with n. A set is said to be countable. One can also rewrite this in a different way. A set capital A is countable if and only if there exists at least one function f from A to n or n to A which is 1, 1 and on to, So, whenever you want to prove a set is countable, just try to find one function from the set n to A or A to n, both will do, because we know that this equivalence is a symmetric relation. So, whenever A is equivalent to n, it is automatically this will be true, n is equivalent to A. Okay. Now, to understand this countable, we consider one example, but before that let us see the next definition on the screen. You can see the next definition about uncountable set. A set which is neither finite nor countable is called uncountable set. Our definition of uncountable set is this: it should not be a finite set and it is not a countable set. Both are not true, remember. Okay. Now, I will take some examples of countable set. You can see the next slide. Examples of countable sets. The first example, z is equivalent to n and hence z is countable. Now, this is very interesting example. You know the set of integers. Set of integers is this: -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on, correct. Now, countable means in our simple language we say we can count the number of elements, but mathematically it is not so. In mathematics, countable means there should be a 1, 1 correspondence between the given set and the set of natural numbers. That means, whenever a set is countable, we feel the number of elements in capital N is same as number of elements in the given set A. In that sense, we say it is a countable set, because there is a 1, 1 correspondence between A and N. Now, the question is, I want to show that Z is in 1 to 1 correspondence with N. So, how I can prove that this Z is countable? Means, what is the technique of establishing a correspondence, or what is the idea to define a function from Z to N or N to Z? So, you observe these numbers, these are positive integers, negative integers, 0 here. I am writing N here, 1 numbers of elements of the set of natural numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on, and I want to count there is 1, 1 correspondence. I want to see that there is 1, 1 correspondence between N and Z. So, first I can start here or here, it is not important, but to have a particular pattern I am starting with this number 0, that I am calling my first number. See the ordinal number first, then I am taking the second number as 1. So, this I am calling second number. Third number I am taking as -1. Okay. Then fourth number I am taking 2. Then fifth number -2. It's like this. Then you can understand now 3, -3 and so on. So, if you continue this way, then it will never end, and this set n also will never end. So, there is exactly 1-1 correspondence. We can see in this figure only that there is exactly 1-1 correspondence between the set of natural numbers and the set of integers. Now, the question remains, okay, is there such a function which gives 1-1 and onto function from n to z? You observe these values very carefully. Okay, 1 goes to 0, 2 goes to 1, 3 goes to -1, 4 goes to 2 and so on. Okay. So, I want to define a function f from n to z using these observations. Now, you see that for even numbers, see 2 value is 1, for 4 the value is 2, for 6 value is 3. So, whenever the number is even, we have the half value. So, I can define a function f like this, f n is equal to n by 2 if n is even number, if n is even number. This way I can define the function f. Now, for odd numbers, let us understand 1 0, 3 -1. I am giving you some time, you think what can be the formula? Yes, can you think? 1 goes to 0. So,